This video is brought to you by HeyBoxing.com. Want to get paid for promoting boxing-related content on your Instagram? It doesn't matter if you have 50 followers or 50 million. Start earning today at HeyBoxing.com.
Amanda Serrano, the real deal. 41, 1-1. 30 of those wins have come by knockout. Champ, what's the importance of this fight for you come Saturday?
Well, this fight is very important. You know, Miriam is a tough, durable, big fighter, and she took the task of fighting me, and I have to get through Miriam this night. I know she's coming to. It's been a lot of upsets lately, and I know she wants to come in and do the same thing. But I've trained super hard, and I know Miriam is a tough girl, and it's going to be a great night.
Listen, there's no secret. Miriam fought Katie Taylor. I know you want to fight Katie Taylor. How much is this a test for you to see, okay, let's see if I have the goods to fight a Katie Taylor, because I'm sure she's going to be watching this fight.
You know what? We know Miriam is a tough fighter because she went the distance with Katie, and I know Miriam is she's a durable fighter and she's strong. So we have to go out there and just win this fight, perform to our best abilities to just to go on to the next one. But no disrespect to Miriam, I've been training really, really hard to her. I don't want to no more questions about Katie Taylor. 2 days out of the fight. My whole training camp has been concentrating on Miriam, and she's my focus come Saturday night, Miriam.
Miriam, all your fights have been in Europe. What are your feelings fighting for this here in the States for the first time and against Amanda Serrano?
Miriam, todas tus peleas han sido en Europa. ¿Cómo te sentís peleando en Estados Unidos por primera vez y contra una rival del calibre de Amanda Serrano?
Pues la verdad es que es una experiencia increíble, y más con Amanda Serrano, que es campeona en 7 categorías, que está bastante, es increíble. Y al final, bueno, vienes aquí porque quieres pelear con las mejores. Sé que ella es una de ellas, al igual que peleé con Katie Taylor en su día, a pesar de las diferentes circunstancias. Porque cuando yo peleé con Kitty estaba totalmente todo cerrado y los entrenamientos eran totalmente de otra manera, y no podíamos salir de casa por las circunstancias que teníamos mundialmente. O sea que ahora mismo quiero disfrutar de esta gran velada, de esa gran pelea que viene y lo que venga, que estamos preparados para lo que sea.
This is an amazing experience, and to have that experience against a 7th division world champion like Amanda Serrano is just amazing. And I'm here to fight the best. I fought against Katie Taylor, but under different circumstances. It was really the pandemic. Everything was closed. Training was different. It was harder. So now I'm just here to enjoy the entirety of the experience, the fans, the atmosphere, and I love every single second of it.
Miriam, and listen, you heard Amanda say she wants no more questions about Katie Taylor because she's fighting you. But she told the boxing scene, I think this is a good test for me. She fought Katie Taylor, and this is a good test to see where I am in relation to that fight. I don't want to say she's a stepping stone, but this is something where I can see where I am with that fight on the horizon. Do you see yourself as a test for Katie Taylor? How do you see this fight?
Bueno, sabemos que Amanda no quiere hablar más de Katie Taylor, pero sí le había dicho a la prensa que quiere ver cómo vos sos como prueba comparado con Katie, ¿no? ¿Vos creés que ese es el caso de que te ves como una prueba similar a lo que podría ser Katie Taylor para ella?
Cada boxeador es un boxeador diferente, no tiene nada que ver. Yo soy de una manera, Amanda es de otra manera, Kitty es de otra manera, y depende también las circunstancias. Yo no soy una persona que, no sé, se ha brindado esta oportunidad. Sinceramente nos preparamos para los mejores. Sí, poder pelear con ella para mí es una grandísima oportunidad también de poder medirme, y nada, trabajamos para ello.
Every fighter is different. I'm I'm one way, Amanda's another way. Katie is different than both of us. And to me, the bottom line is that I prepare to fight against the best. Amanda is also going to be a great test for me. I want to see what I'm all about. And that's what this sport is all about. I want the biggest challenges, and I'm ready for anything that comes my way.
Is there a piece of you too that says, I want to see how I do at this weight and if I can stop some of these women at 135?
Well, I have a couple of fights at 135 and a couple of stoppages
Yes.
at 135.
Yeah.
You know, my
But
power.
it's been a while.
Yeah, no, it's been a while. But my power is real. I take it wherever I go in any division I go to. But yeah, it's a test. I know this girl. She's a natural 135 pounder. She's a little taller than me. So yeah, it's definitely a test for me too to go out there and like you said, it's been a while. So I have to test my power once again.
I found out that you have a foundation you started based on something, unfortunately, that happened to a number of women in this country and around the world. Can you tell the people what your foundation is, why you started it, because of what happened to you?
Bueno, la verdad es que yo no la fundé, fue mi entrenador, Jerónimo García, donde podemos ayudar a un montón de personas con exclusión social, donde se les aporta ciertas circunstancias, el poder practicar el deporte nuestro, que es el boxeo. Gente que no tiene ese tipo de recursos, poder darle unos guantes, un espacio para poder disfrutar de ese tipo de deporte, que es el que nosotros estamos a gusto y disfrutamos de él.
The foundation is all about preventing social exclusion. It was founded by my trainer, Jerónimo García, and it's about giving people the tools to cope with what social exclusion doesn't give them. We want to give them a space to be themselves. We want to give them a pair of gloves and a space to feel safe more than anything. Preventing social exclusion and making them part of an inclusive atmosphere.
3 knockouts. Tyron Woodley, second professional fight. Jake, we'll start with you. I guess the first question is, what were your thoughts when Tommy Fury all of a sudden pulls out of the fight last week? He says because, obviously he had a medical condition going on, and then all of a sudden, Tyron Woodley is your opponent again. What went through your mind?
I just thought to myself, it's funny how these professionals like Tommy Fury, who's considered a professional boxer, gets sick, breaks a rib, and doesn't want to fight. I fought sick. I fought hurt. You got to go in there and get the job done. And then they're like, oh, you got Tyron Woodley now. No problem. That's why I got the ski mask on. They're going to give me a big bag to go and beat the guy I already beat. This is a bank robbery.
I see you got a belt here. It says the most valuable boxer. Jake Paul. Is that belt for you? Or is that for the most valuable boxer of the night? Explain the belt for us.
This belt is for me. That's why it says for Jake Paul right here. But this is the most valuable boxer belt, designed by Alec Monopoly. We got a diamond Rolex on the side, a diamond Cartier on the side, and then the Hermes Birkin bag sewn into the side for the most valuable boxer of this generation.
The chosen one. Tyron Woodley. So, Tyron, you get another crack at Jake. You were already training for a fight. And then all of a sudden last week, you get the call like, hey, do you want to run it back? Give me your thoughts. Did you think this would happen? And what were your thoughts when you actually got the call last week?
My thoughts when I got the call is that, things happen for a reason. I think this is all a part of alignment. And, it's been times in my mixed martial art career where, we get a fight done and we always think we need a break. We need to go on a vacation and we need to just download because the training camp takes a lot of energy and a lot of time, a lot of PR. And something told me this fight wasn't going to happen. Something didn't sit right with me about the Tommy Fury matchup. It didn't make a lot of sense. I didn't think people were as excited about the Tommy Fury fight as they were with me and Jake. So I flew my coaches into town end of September. I said, this fight ain't going to happen. I said, this fight will not happen. I said, my spirit is telling me it's not going to happen. So we started training. not really as a replacement, but training because I just didn't feel like the fight was going to happen. So when I got the call, the sentence wasn't even finished before I was in. So I'm just excited about the opportunity to go out here and redeem myself. We found out a lot about each other that night in the ring. You know, some mutual respect, but it's still some unfinished business.
Now, I know you guys did the bet thing. Do we have another bet going on here this time, Jake?
I mean, we just added to his contract that if he can knock me out, he'll get $500K bonus on top. So that's that. I don't need nothing. I already got everything.
Does that?
I just bet I beat his ass. That's my bet.
I'm a eat your ass. I mean, I'm a beat your ass.
I'm not falling for that.
You won't let me? Nah, pause.
Luckily, we're on Showtime. It's okay. It's okay. Fourth round, you almost knocked this man in the front row. Why didn't you finish him?
You know, one thing that you got to recognize in this sport is, you know, when people are down and they're wounded, you know, they make the comment that when somebody backs against a wall, when somebody's like a wounded dog, you got to be patient. And you got to be patient on trying to finish that deal off because Jake has shown in his fights, you watch the Nate Robinson fight, you watch even when he knocked out Ben Askren, he wasn't really looking at them at the time. You know, they walked forward. He looked like he was going to load it on Ben's body, and then he came over the top. Nate ran in and rushed into a right hand. So, you know, you got to respect power. And I'm not going to sit up here and act like he don't have power. He does have power, and I have power. That's why you guys want to watch this fight again. So when I was looking at that, I actually punched him into, he was under the first rope, land on the second rope, hooked on the third rope, and sitting on the fourth rope. And we went into the boxing ring earlier that day, and we noticed how tall the top rope was. It was really at the back of my head. And at that point, we started measuring the second and the third rope. And that rope, those ropes are kind of really loose. So they went to tighten the rope up. And to be honest, when I punched him, he actually sprung back into the ring based upon the second and third rope. So when I was going to punch him for the second time, you know, I don't go out there and cry over spilled milk. Like Jake said, he had an injury. Most fighters fight with injuries. You train your ass off. Most of the injuries come into training. And when you sign a contract and you walk in there, you don't cry fit. You don't go in there and complain about it. If you win, you win. If you lose, you lose. You don't make excuses afterwards. But when he came back in, I was trying to punch him again. I actually wrapped around his back. And I felt like my elbow was a little bit of hyperextended. So I said, Tyron, walk him down. Get in his face. You're in better shape. He's backing up. And I was punching and trying to make him punch back so I can counter punch him. But I really didn't feel like it was time for me to just go in there with avalanches of punches. He was hurt, but he wasn't to the point where he was dangling around and his legs were shaking. So hindsight is 20/20. I could have went in there and threw a barrage of punches, and he could have came with that right hand that we saw. He could have came with the left hook. Maybe I could have did more. Maybe I could have been a little bit more active, but we're in there. You know what I mean? We're in there. We see what we see. And I gotta go off my experience on what I saw. My last UFC fight, I hit the guy and he had Bambi legs. And I said, it's over with. And I went in there for the kill. And when I did that, he clipped me with a shot. And, you know, I wasn't thinking about let's be safe, but you got to be a professional out here. You know, this is a young kid. He hasn't really went a long fight ever. This is the first time he ever went more than 2 or 3 rounds, right? His chin has not been hit that often. He's going to be able to take a punch. So those are the things that an experienced fighter think about. So I know people wanted to see, it was more so people wanted to see me knock him out for them, you know, and I think that's why everybody, oh, you shoulda, woulda, coulda. I want to see you guys get in there and do it.
You took out, but you just said there's an extra $500,000 if he does knock you out. Tell me why you said, okay, let me up the ante.
I guess my career has just become shutting people the fuck up. And this is just another version of that. So up the ante, prove that there's no knockout clause. The fact that people think that they're idiots, and I'm willing to put money on it. That's it.
I appreciate the half a bag. I'm going to throw in some crypto.
Does that put any more pressure on you to try to get the knockout?
Absolutely not. If you go to the recreational center, you play some one-on-one basketball with a guy, he beats you 7 rounds to 1 or 7 points to 1, however you want to look at it. And then you come back next Thursday and you want to beat that guy in one-on-one basketball. Just because he is going to pay you to beat him doesn't mean you can. I'm not nervous at all about that. If anything, it's my advantage. He's going to come out, try to knock me out. And like he just said, he's going to get caught because he respects my power. a lot of people online were saying, why didn't you finish him? Why didn't you finish him? Because Tyron felt my power in the first round, and he knew that if he walked into that shit, it's on the canvas. I hurt him multiple times in that fight, but some reason people don't want to talk about that.
When did the referee ever come towards my way to save my life? When did you hurt me? When did you nearly put me to the canvas?
7th round, overhand right.
Yeah, you
Picture
know what
that's
happened
on my
after you did overhand
Instagram
right?
with your head
I got
going.
back in your face like
and
Terminator.
you fell forward into my arms, and I caught you. I saved your life, but not
Guess
this
what?
time.
Every time
not
I
this
hit
time.
you, you ran.
Not
Every
this
time you
time.
hit me, I walked you down. I got back in your face. So when you hit me, it actually made me even more pissed off. So at the end of the day, I don't know where that analogy came from with the basketball game. You lost me and everybody in this room because you definitely didn't win 7 rounds. Number one. Number two, why didn't you knock me out? If you hit me with the hardest shots, why didn't it make me back up? Why were you the one to run in the whole time?
So it begs the question, and we'll wrap it up with this.
Let him answer that.
I said, no, 100%. I didn't hit you with my best shot, and that's the beauty of this fight coming in. And that's why I'm
Why
so
didn't you?
confident.
What was you
I didn't
saving
hit
it
you with
for?
my best shot. It was a bad night, and I still beat you.
It was
Plain
a
and
bad
simple.
night?
And you should be embarrassed by that because I beat you on a
Saturday's
bad night.
gonna be a bad
and my
night.
first time going 8 rounds.
That was
first time
that
ever
was a
getting
Christmas
hit by
gift.
a 10-ounce glove.
August
So,
29th was a Christmas
You don't
gift.
know.
December
How about this?
18th,
You don't know
Saturday
what's
night is going to
coming.
be a bad
Hold on,
night.
we'll wrap it up. How will you be different this time around?
You'll see. Enough with the talking. We're 2 days away. Everyone can tune the fucking Showtime.com/pay-per-view. Fucking be there. Otherwise, you're missing out on one of the greatest fights ever. Thank you.
Tyron, how will you be different?
I don't need to be different. I just need to go out there and get it done this time. I needed more time the last time. This time I'm getting some extension to that for last fight. So I'm going to get the round done. This is the round 9 to me.
I have a question for the NBA legend. If you were putting together an NBA boxing card with current players, who would you want to see on there?
That's a tough question. Well, Kendall Gill for one, because he's had some professional fights, so I definitely got to throw him on there. James Johnson. James Johnson. I think James Johnson's like a black belt, so I know he's got some training. Throw him on there. And like some legends like Charles Oakley, because I know he used to throw hands on a regular. One of my former teammates, Jerry Stackhouse, because he used to throw hands on the regular as well. So I'd probably put those guys on there, and then I'm gonna throw myself on there.
You just gonna leave out Nate Robinson like that?
Come on, man.
That's not necessary.
Colin. All right, here we are. This is the Schmo with the Schmo Zone. Question for Jake Paul. Yesterday at the media workout, you mentioned that Tyron Woodley's power was about a 4 out of 10. Have you been touched with anyone who's had a 7 or greater out of 10?
Yeah, I definitely have. I've sparred with 3-time, 4-time world champions, professional boxers, guys who are bigger than me, heavyweights. I sparred a guy who's 6'9". Those dudes can crack, and that's why I said his power is 4 out of 10. You know, he won the UFC championship with that right hand. He hit me with it. I was off balance, yada, yada. First time I've been hit in a real fight. Cool, take it, no problem. Come back and win every single round after that. So that's why I give him a 4 out of 10.
Tyron, if you're a 4 out of 10, what is Jake to you for all the people that you felt?
I mean, to be honest, Jake was kind of running, so I would measure his track speed more than his punching power. So I give him a 10 out of 10 on his back pedal. He should probably be a cornerback.
I might actually go to the NFL after this, or NASCAR. I'm still debating.
Who's next?
Hi, Chris Maxwell with Sporting News. Tyron, yesterday during media workouts, Jake Paul had compared himself to potentially be the next Muhammad Ali. What is your reaction to that?
I mean, that's his goal. Like, I don't crush people's goals. Whatever this dude want to do, that's on him. Like, Saturday night, I'm whooping his ass. So, whatever his plans is, like, that's one thing about me. I'm real. I'm not gonna bash just to unnecessarily bash to sell a fight. If he got goals and he got ambitions, shit he want to do, then have at it. But Saturday, my goal and my mission is clear, and it's independent of his.
Back here in the back.
Yeah. Josh Cassio, Fox 13. Tyron Woodley, if you win this fight,
Start using the right words around here.
when you win this fight, will there be a trilogy?
Let's just focus on the fight. I mean, shit, we can talk about a trilogy. We can talk about 4, 5, 6, 7 times. But, if I don't get it done on Saturday, this conversation is off the table. So right now, I'm laser focused on Saturday night. I'm ready. I'm excited. I'm more prepared than I was the last time. And the small adjustments I made in training, even before the fight was announced, I think those little small things are going to give me the victory.
Hey, Jake Donovan, BoxingScene.com. Amanda, I had a question. You said you had to eat your way to maintain lightweight throughout this camp. What's the one food you've enjoyed the most that you haven't been able to in past training camps?
Well, I was able to eat whatever I want. I mean, I had a nutritionist who made my dinners, but I guess I try to avoid bad food, so chocolate chip cookies, like the real ones, the ones that comes out the oven. That's that's my craving.
Okay, very cool. And then my question for Miriam, do you find it crazy that you're going to now face arguably the two best pound-for-pound fighters in order to win a world title?
¿Te parece increíble que hayas tenido que enfrentar a las dos mejores peleadoras de la actualidad para poder tener la oportunidad de ganar un título mundial?
Hombre, para eso estamos aquí, porque hemos trabajado para ello. Y la verdad es que es un honor poder pelear con las mejores.
That's the whole reason we're here, to fight the best, to go after the highest honor. And it is truly an honor to fight someone like Amanda and to fight the best and to be considered to fight the best.
We have one more.
Mike Straka, Big 8 Radio here in Tampa. Tyron, now that you're on this journey, would you recommend this journey for other MMA fighters like you've been to take on boxing and take on other paychecks after your career in MMA is somewhat over?
If they want to lose.
For me, he was talking to a man, let the child be quiet. For me, I've always been a trailblazer. I was the first one with the vlog. Make sure you guys check out Champ Camp. It's crazy right now. I was the first one that really entertained these ideas even before Conor did. I was talking about boxing before, and then actually my coach Dean Thomas was here, was talking about boxing before any MMA fighter was boxing. So my mind has always been ahead of the curve. I suggest people do what they are put here to do. Everybody will watch Instagram and internet and they see something cool and they want to go and do it. Like, that's not what here. For one thing, this fight against Jake, I don't know what it is with this kid that makes me excited to train, that makes me want to get in the gym. And that's why this fight was important to me the first time, and that's why it's important this time. Whatever excites you and motivates you to go out there and do whatever God puts you on this earth to do and passionate about, do that. Every MMA fighter should box. Some MMA fighters should box, but they got to make that decision for themselves. So I'm not going out there, waving the banner for MMA. I'm not going out there waving the banner for anybody that want to see Jake get his butt kicked. I'm doing it for myself. And if anybody benefits from it after that, then, multiple birds with one stone. But do what you're supposed to do. Do what God put you here for. Don't sit here and try to follow my footsteps.
Thanks, T. Wood. Jake, conversely, as T said earlier, you've proven your power in the ring. Would you ever consider taking an MMA fight?
Yeah, for sure. 100%. I think it could happen.
You a lie.
Why not? Why not?
You a lie.
If I can learn how to box in 2 years and beat people like him, then why can't I learn how to do MMA
Let's do
in
MMA
2 years
then.
and beat people like him?
Let's do MMA then.
So that's my answer. Is it will happen at some point. 100%.
Let's do this MMA after we do this boxing
100%.
stuff, so I can elbow you in the head and knee you in a nugget.
So there you have it, folks.
Cap.
Hall versus Woodley. 2. They say it's all about leave, no doubt. Comes your way, Showtime pay-per-view, Saturday, December 8th, 9 p.m. Eastern. That is 6 o'clock Pacific time. Our first time back here in Tampa in 13 years, but we'll be at the Emily Arena. You can get tickets at emilyarena.com. Make sure you get them because we are expecting a sellout at that arena. Ladies, gentlemen, appreciate it. Let's get a face-off here, guys. Let's face off.